Are you ready to harness the benefits that the new SQE regime and legal apprentice landscape will bring? The legal education, learning and development landscape is undergoing a revolution, and by the autumn of 2021, a whole new regime will be in the process of being rolled out, dictating the way solicitors in England and Wales qualify. This new approach culminates in the new two-part super exam, the SQE, and with this comes a myriad of options as to how to prepare for its inception. Hello, I'm Catherine Giddings of Amaze Consulting. We are an independent niche consultancy helping law firms and in-house legal counsel navigate the changes to the route to qualification as a solicitor. As we navigate the ever-changing and quite frankly destabilising world in which we're all living, it is important not to lose sight of the future and ensure we prepare for when we all find ourselves out the other side of this pandemic. Are you ready to answer the questions destined to come your way from your target recruits? Have you considered what kind of early talent resource mix your firm will need to meet the needs of its business and clients in the future? Have you considered which approach to learning will suit your firm best, practically and culturally? It is a maze out there, so as experts in the early talent space in the legal sector, we have produced this short video to highlight key considerations when deciding your approach. In summary, the GDL, LPC and PSC will all be going. The GDL will be replaced and will likely mirror what there is at the current time, but the SRA will no longer be overseeing its governance. The LPC and PSC will be replaced with two super exams, the SQE1, which will focus on functioning legal knowledge, and SQE2, which will focus on skills elements. Solicitors can apply to be admitted once they've gained 2 years of qualifying work experience, or QWE, but this does not have to be completed with just one law firm. The rules on this are more relaxed now, and prior relevant work experience can be included. There are three main approaches to SQE that law firms are considering at the current time. Firstly, the front-loaded SQE option, where all exams are taken prior to the individual's arrival. Secondly, a learning on the job model via a day-release graduate solicitor apprenticeship. And thirdly, a front-loaded graduate solicitor apprenticeship. Let's turn now to look at some of the key questions that are at the heart of your decision as to which route you take. Firstly, what foundation of legal knowledge and business critical skills do you want your early talent to have? So, for example, what multidisciplinary skills like legal tech skills, project management, financial numeracy skills do you need? And what core skills like resilience, curiosity, emotional intelligence are priorities? Secondly, is SQE sufficient, or do you need to enhance the learning with additional legal knowledge, skills and behaviours? Thirdly, which training provider do you want to work with, and which delivery model works best for you? So what balance of face-to-face and online learning are you looking for? And finally, when do you want to adopt SQE? To answer these questions, you will need to consider what skills and knowledge you need in the business at the junior level when your trainees start with a firm. There are still some unknowns in terms of the content of the SQE 1 and 2 assessments, especially as to the question of skills assessment and whether this falls in the SQE 1 or not, and whether there will be any choice of practice context or not in the SQE 2. Regardless of this, as you can see, there are gaps in skills and knowledge in what the SQE assesses compared to the content of the LPC and PSC courses whenever trainees join you. So, does this matter to your firm? How will you supplement the learning, as we've touched on, and when, to ensure you're getting the best from your early talent? There are pros and cons to each approach. For those doing most of their learning on the job and with a day release pattern, it could be argued that the learning will be more relevant, applied and embedded. For those joining the firm following a front-loaded approach, the key question is, will they be more prepared from day one? There is cost modelling to do too, to understand which option would provide you with the best ROI, and let's not forget the apprenticeship levy, which could be used to offset the cost of training. Once you've arrived at a preferred approach, you will then need to think through your internal policies around recruitment and assessment, bearing in mind the skills you need. So what mix of educational background you need, for example. So how will you focus your campus activity? What proportion of STEM students are you seeking? You'll need to consider applicants with different levels of education and training. So those applying to you without the SQE, those applying to you who've completed part 1 of the SQE. Those applying to you who've passed both SQE assessments, would you require that they undertake further training with you, so your elective content, for example? And your current employees who may wish to qualify via the SQE route, such as your paralegals. You'll also need to consider if you have additional training requirements, so taking into account the gaps in some of the business critical skills as well as the foundation of legal knowledge you require, as we've talked about, your approach to assessment and time off to study, your retake policies, your approach to seat rotation, salary levels, and what your approach will be to QWE undertaken before joining you. So what will you consider as relevant, including international work experience, for example? As you can see, there is a lot to consider. Many of our clients are working with us to explore what legal and business critical skills they require of their early talent, which SQE scenario would suit their business, culture, budget and resourcing capacity through virtual or face-to-face workshops. Following the workshops, we will provide you with a set of recommendations alongside an impact assessment. Please contact us if you'd like to discuss how we can help you take this forward so that you're ready to position your approach with your target recruits in the autumn. We would love to hear from you.